are we
And here's
thinking it's
Tegan.
5 o'clock?
Oh, good.
Who came in?
Tegan.
Oh, Tegan. Oh, good. So she's zooming in. All right. I think I'm gonna call things to order. And we have, Tegan and Wilson, I think, and anyone else?
No, that's it for now.
Good, great. And,
Charlotte's planning to come in person, but.
and
she's
Tegan,
late.
oh, she's gonna come.
She did,
Okay.
yeah.
And Tegan and Wilson, you can hear us, okay?
Yes.
Yep.
So the first order of business is to approve the minutes of July 22nd and July 20. And
Here's
hopefully-
Sandra.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
Sandra.
Sandra. And, okay, but
Another chair.
a little slow start at that.
Here we can do one in here.
I move that we approve the minutes of July 22nd.
Tegan, can you see everybody who's here, or do you want me to write down the names for you?
Can you write it down just in case?
Yeah, you bet.
I don't know why I'm so fuzzy.
One more time. I
Okay,
move that we approve the minutes of July 22 and July 29
and you're doing them together.
together. Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? I'm sorry, is there any discussion?
Who was it that seconded?
Michael. Mike.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? So the motion is passed and we've approved the minutes. And so the next item on the agenda is to ask if any member of the Board of Tax Abatement has had any ex-parte communication with the taxpayers involved, who are the Rowells. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at that. Or has any conflict of interest perceived or otherwise with the taxpayers involved.
Not I.
No. And just so you know, that's supposed to be part of every proceeding when we talk about a case. I think we've been more or less faithful to that, but we'll try to be more faithful as we go along
I
here.
mean, everyone's aware that Ed is an employee of the town. So the select board employs Ed and I'm his supervisor
Okay, yeah, and you've had communications.
I have.
Yeah, always a member of the board.
with Nancy.
And we're very grateful you did.
Thank you.
Yes, we're glad. I think I'm gonna turn this over to Corey to
Yeah.
present the application, because it's coming basically from him.
Great, so thanks everybody for coming together on short notice in the middle of the night like this, but we hopefully can move through this quickly. So the source of this issue was an address error. The addresses on two parcels got swapped. And so in 2023, when Ed and Nancy received their a tax bill in the mail, they paid that bill that they received. And they paid it early, like a month early and in full. However, they were paying for a different parcel unbeknownst to them. And then because we had the wrong address on file for them, as Sandra was applying interest and went into delinquency, they were not receiving those notices in the mail. It was going to the other address, and for whatever reason, it wasn't being communicated to them. So they were very surprised, Nancy was very surprised to find out when, after making this year's payment, that they were, their account was showing that they owed money, and that was because this year's payment, now after having the addresses swapped back, they were paying the right bill. Their payment for this year went to last year's and paid off. And we thought, oh, great, we've cured that delinquency, but actually, it was just, misplaced. So what I'd like to do is remove all the interest that was applied to both of those parcels. And but specifically with the parcel on Duber Brook, let's get these confused. But the parcel number 091519, which has only $11.10 in interest, I think that should be forgiven if the parcel is paid, the taxes are paid in full for both 23 and 24. It's very clear to me that Ed and Nancy should be forgiven any interest because they made a good faith effort to pay their taxes on time. Jamie's joining us as well. And then the last thing is the bill that Ed and Nancy paid was actually less, in 23 was actually less than what they owed on that parcel. But because it was the town's error, it's a difference of a little over $200. I think it would be nice to forgive that principal as well. And not ask them to go back and pay the additional amount. So that's sort of the summary of things.
So is there, I think if we get a motion on the table, then we can have a discussion. So I'd like to be clear what the motion is. Is that something you want to make, Cory, or? are you a
Sure.
member of the board?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what I would be, I would move that we abate interest and principal of $277.01 for parcel number 3000526. And then interest in the amount of $11.10 for parcel 091519. Contingent on the total tax bill being paid for 091519 by November 15th. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's, the contingency is not, and it's not what's written here, so we need to be sure that that
But
gets
yeah,
added.
I think that's an important factor.
Yeah. Okay. So is there a second to the motion?
A second. This
Um,
is Scott Teagan.
Yes, Scott, seconded it. Is there discussion, and I guess particularly two things, Sandra, would you like to add something? I feel funny talking to you when I can't see you. And also, does anyone feel that we need a deliberative session, or can we deal with this here in the open meeting? So Sandra, is there anything you'd like to add?
We can't.
Hi. I do not know if you can hear me. We are driving and I do not have anything to add. I think Kari accurately represented the situation, and because this was the result of an inadvertent error, I do support this motion, and I hope that the board considers it and favorably.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Does anybody feel that we need a deliberative session to resolve this? Any other discussion on the motion? If we're ready to vote, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
And the motion is adopted, and I guess it's between Kari and me who writes this up. We need to get a decision then.
I'm happy to.
Yeah.
Is there, forgive me, is there a form? Or-
No, there's no.
So I could probably adapt my.
There is a
You-
form.
There is a form.
Okay.
And there are sample decisions on the website.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There's a list or error and omission form that has to be presented to the select board. I'll bring it Monday.
Oh, okay. In addition to this decision, it needs to also
Yeah.
be,
Yeah, it's a
The
separate.
decision, you have 30 days to write the decision, though. There is no rush on that, and I can help you with it after tomorrow.
After Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
Sorry, there's
All right.
form on the, from our lead states and towns for that.
okay.
Yeah. There's sort of a template,
Yep.
that we follow, so, great, so you and I can chat if I.
Yeah,
need
I
to
can
help.
draft it and send it over to you.
Good. Any other business? Anyone
Quick
has?
question. John, you're gonna have that form ready for this coming Monday's?
Yes.
select board? Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'll put it on the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
If we need a motion to adjourn, we can just adjourn. Yeah.
Great.
Good meeting to you.
Excellent.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming in.
I am so glad you figured this out for us. We didn't have to. do that.
Funny you should say that's exactly what we're.
Let's go around and around.
So now we have.
Well,
We're gonna be
Believe it or not, there are fewer drivers around. There used to be.
trying to sort out.
Yes, that's right.
The select board meetings.
And it's a big difference.
Starting at 5.
Yeah, that's right.